¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo están ustedes? Bienvenidos a un nuevo capítulo de Conversando con Mónica, este programa que hacemos todos los jueves a través de las pantallas de Teletrece en vivo. Hoy nos acompaña el senador Rick Scott, que es senador por el estado de Florida, una de las figuras, podríamos decir, más influyentes del Partido Republicano en Estados Unidos, exgobernador durante 2 mandatos en el estado de Florida también, y se ha destacado por su firme postura en materia de seguridad nacional, también en disciplina fiscal, y junto a su colega, también senador Marco Rubio, ha sido una de las voces más, podríamos decir, activas frente a los regímenes en Venezuela, en Cuba, en Nicaragua, promoviendo una política más dura por parte de Washington y también más en respaldo de la democracia en la región. Damos la bienvenida entonces al senador Rick Scott. Senator, how are you? Thank you very much for being with us.
Es un placer.
Senator, first question. According to the New York Times, President Donald Trump had called off diplomatic outreach to Venezuela in what it seems to be a way of a possible military escalation against drug traffickers or maybe Nicolás Maduro government. How do you see the situation?
Well, first off, let's remember this. Nicolás Maduro is not the president of Venezuela. Armando Gonzalez is the president-elect of Venezuela. Nicolás Maduro is a dictator. He's a narco-trafficker. He's a friend to drug cartels. He's the head of El Cartel de los Solos and El Tren de Aragua. So any action against Nicolás Maduro will be because of his illegal action selling drugs into this country. So I'm proud of what the president's done to hold Nicolás Maduro and the narco-traffickers accountable. I don't want any more drugs coming to our country. I'm hopeful that there will be a new day of democracy and liberty in Venezuela.
But the President Trump also on Sunday mentioned that he might be going by land to go by land because of the successful he has had in terms of killing the boats that are coming from Venezuela. What is the? Do you think that an invasion by land is something that President Trump is thinking about or might happen in the future?
Well, I think what he's going to do is he's going to make sure the United States is safe. He doesn't want drugs sold to our kids in the United States. He doesn't want narco traffickers coming into the United States. He doesn't want any of these things happening. So there's a bounty on Nicolás Maduro's head of $50 million. I've got a bill that would raise it to $100 million. I want him in prison personally, but because of how many Americans he's killed. But I don't know exactly what President Trump's going to do. I'm proud of what he's done so far. And I hope there will be a new day where Armando Gonzalez will be the president and Nicolás Maduro will be in prison.
Yeah, but thinking or having in mind that objective, do you think that the only way that probably President González will be in office in Venezuela is going with a military operation to remove Maduro from power?
I don't know. Hope springs eternal. What you hope is Nicolás Maduro sees the handwriting on the wall and decides to either give himself up or move to Russia or China or some place where nobody would want to live because you can't live under freedom and democracy.
Let's move to Argentina. There is a very important meeting at the White House on October 14th between President Trump and President Milei. There's also a $20 billion swap on the table to help Milei. Do you see this? How do you see this lending of this big amount of money to Argentina and the objectives of budget reduction that this administration has?
Well, I think whatever we do with Argentina, the goal would be that the American taxpayer doesn't lose any money. Milei clearly is trying to turn around his country. It's remarkable that he was able to win to stop the politicians that were plundering Argentina. So I hope for the people of Argentina that Milei is successful. He gets inflation under control. He gets the economy going again. So the people of Argentina have the same opportunity that people have in democracies around the world.
So you think you're okay with this lending of this big amount of money to Argentina? Do you feel safe doing that? Do you think it's a good policy?
Yeah, I haven't seen the details, but my expectation is that if President Trump does something with Milei, it'll be good for the American taxpayer.
Okay. Have the tensions over the waiver visa waiver program with Chile have eased within the Republican Party? We have the visit of Secretary Christine Noem, and it seems that way, but I don't know what is going on exactly within the Congress.
Well, clearly Chile is an ally to the United States. It's a friend, it's a trading partner. I used to be the governor of Florida. I did trade missions down to Chile to try to make sure we did more trade with Chile. Now we've got the visa programs tied to making sure it's safe for the United States. And so I'm sure if they feel like it's safe to the United States, then the visa program will go forward.
Okay, but what do you think would happen if Chileans don't stop doing what it's called criminal tourism?
Well, if they don't, then the visa program will not continue.
But do you think all the questions against Chile and the visa waiver program have eased within the Republican Party?
Well, I think the Republican Party just expects the facts, and I know Christine Noem's working hard to get the facts out there, and keep Americans safe.
I think you know that in Chile we are holding elections at the end of this year. And I would like to know your opinion on that. The polls show candidates from the extremes winning right now. In one hand, we have a candidate that represents the continuity of the current government. She is a communist herself, but represents a broader coalition. And on the other hand, we have a candidate from the extreme right, following the line of a leadership of the kind of Milei's in Argentina or Meloni in Italia. What do you think about this electoral race?
Well, look, it's clear. If you care about the people of your country, then you'll focus on how you grow your economy, and you downsize the size of government. You focus on a better education system. You focus on keeping people safe. You focus on keeping taxes low, and you build companies. So communist socialists don't do that. People that believe in the capitalist system, believe in democracy and liberty and freedom, that's the ones who do it.
Do you think the winning of one or the other will in any way affect the bilateral relationship with the U.S.?
Absolutely. Look, if a country elects socialism, communism, elects people that hate America, then there's probably going to be less opportunity to work with America. And it's no different than what we all do. If you don't invite somebody to your house that despises you and hates your way of life. And so if Chile decides to go down the path of communism, socialism, then they'll have poor relationships with the United States.
Senator, we're going to do a small stop and we continue with the program. Vamos a hacer una breve pausa y regresamos de inmediato para seguir conversando con el senador Rick Scott de Florida.
V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore can love.
Una Cristal es re refrescante para esas juntas que pasan hace 175 años. Se junta un...
Estaba más seco que piojo de peluca.
con un...
Hoy estaba más seco que empanada de talco.
Y seguimos aliviando la sed desde 1850, po. Se junta un envasado en frío con un... Y disfrutamos de la cerveza más refrescante de Chile. Cristal es re refrescante para aliviar la sed de juntarnos por lo que nos une como chilenos.
Tiene más historias que Carlos Pinto.
Cristal, juntémonos.
Nuevo Dona Luna, un nuevo cóctel de vino que parece vino, pero es más refrescante. Parece espumante, pero es más suave. Parece spritz, pero viene listo para disfrutar. Nuevo Dona Luna.
Nuestra historia en CSU comienza en 1850 y así como estamos juntos desde los inicios de nuestro país, también estamos en esos momentos que han marcado tu historia y la de todos los chilenos. En CSU llevamos 175 años acompañándote y queremos seguir haciéndolo por muchos años más. CSU, 175 años juntos.
Fernet Branca es único por su receta, elaborada con varias decenas de ingredientes de todo el mundo. Por su historia, porque en 1845 creamos el Fernet que hoy y siempre acompaña tus mejores momentos. Y por su sabor inconfundible, que lo hace ser único.
Nuevo Dona Luna, un nuevo cóctel de vino que parece vino, pero es más refrescante. Parece espumante, pero es más suave. Parece spritz, pero viene listo para disfrutar. Nuevo Dona Luna.
Vamos. Un bingo.
Y para pasar, ¿te la jugáis? Apaño.
Cuando te las juegas y le pones carácter, disfrutas más. Con la cerveza que tiene más cuerpo, más color y más sabor. Escudo, hecha con carácter.
¡Gol! 1-0, listo. Ya me pagaron. Pero ¿cómo? Se llevan 10 minutos y van 1-0. Epic Bet. Con el pago anticipado épico, si tu equipo se adelanta con un gol, ganas.
A ver, espera. Si empatan o pierden.
Da lo mismo. Si ya te pagaron. A mí todavía nada y pagan al 2-0. Ya no se juega así. En Epic Bet, con un solo gol de ventaja, ya ganaste.
¿Viste? Ahora ya sabes dónde hay que jugar.
En Epic Bet.
Descubre el pago anticipado épico. epicbet.com. La nueva forma de ganar.
Una Cristal es re refrescante para esas juntas que pasan hace 175 años. Se junta un...
Estaba más seco que piojo de peluca.
con un...
Hoy estaba más seco que empanada de talco.
Y seguimos aliviando la sed desde 1850, po. Se junta un envasado en frío con un... Y disfrutamos de la cerveza más refrescante de Chile. Cristal es re refrescante para aliviar la sed, de juntarnos por lo que nos une como chilenos.
Tiene más historias que Carlos Pinto.
Cristal, juntémonos.
V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore can love.
Nuestra historia en CSU comienza en 1850 y así como estamos juntos desde los inicios de nuestro país, también estamos en esos momentos que han marcado tu historia y la de todos los chilenos. En CSU llevamos 175 años acompañándote y queremos seguir haciéndolo por muchos años más. CSU, 175 años juntos.
Una Cristal es re refrescante para esas juntas que pasan hace 175 años. Se junta un...
Estaba más seco que piojo de peluca.
con un...
Hoy estaba más seco que empanada de talco.
Y seguimos aliviando la sed desde 1850, po. Se junta un envasado en frío con un... Y disfrutamos de la cerveza más refrescante de Chile. Cristal es re refrescante para aliviar la sed, de juntarnos por lo que nos une como chilenos.
Tiene más historias que Carlos Pinto.
Cristal, juntémonos.
Esta temporada se viene llena de días Golden. Días de color dorado brillante, de gran sabor y de merecido relajo. Nueva Royal Guard Golden Lager. Descubre la más suave de nuestras variedades y el gran sabor que le dan sus lúpulos especiales. En todas sus variedades, el merecido relajo es de Royal Guard.
Seguimos conversando con Mónica en esta jornada con el senador Rick Scott de Florida. Hemos hablado de varios temas internacionales. Another question in terms of more of the cultural battle that it's been happening in the U.S. This year, again, the book of the Chilean writer Isabel Allende, The House of the Spirits, has been banned from public schools, libraries in the United States. This is a controversial book censorship that is going on in your country. What do you think about that?
Well, I believe in the freedom of speech. I believe that other than something that promotes violence, I think we ought to allow people to read what they want to read. I mean, of course, I don't believe in violence. I don't believe in pornography, things like that. But as a general rule, I'm willing to have a conversation with anybody to talk about what I believe versus what they believe. I go to college campuses. I go travel the country every week talking to people about what their beliefs are. And I think that's what this country is built on.
Let's talk about Florida. You were governor of that state for 2 terms, and Florida has become the iconic state for anti-immigration struggle. What do you think of initiatives by Governor Santis, like the alligator, what is being called alligator Alcatraz, which is a jail specifically for irregular immigrants?
Well, first off, we are an immigration state. We believe in immigration, legal immigration. About 20% of our population speak Spanish. We have wonderful people who have come, especially from all over Latin America. Seems like Miami is the capital of Latin America. We have, and they've helped. Hispanics have come from all over Latin America to help build our state. So I believe in immigration. I believe in legal immigration. I don't know what DeSantis is doing. I've not talked to him about what he's doing with alligator Alcatraz. But I can tell you what I do. I promote legal immigration and opportunities for every legal immigrant in our country to be whatever they want to be.
But the appearance that we have, or what we've been seeing in some moments or examples, is that Chilean tourists, for example, that travel on visa waiver, sometimes they don't feel safe in many places in the U.S. because they had been, for example, caught in the middle of an ICE situation in the U.S. while they were just tourists. How can tourists feel safe with that kind of policy?
Anybody that's in our country legally should not feel unsafe. I have 9 offices across Florida. I have an office in D.C. You can tell anybody from Chile that if they have any concerns before they want to come or after they come, as long as they're coming here legally, I'll do everything I can to be helpful to them.
We have also in Chile a big problem with irregular immigration due to the long border that we have with Peru and Bolivia. It's more than 1,000 kilometers long. Any recommendations on how to deal with this problem?
Well, what we've done on our southern border is we've made sure that it's protected. We've done a variety of things. Because we're an immigration country. We like immigration, but we just want to know who's coming to our country and they need to be allowed into our country. I want to continue to have legal immigration in our country, but I don't want terrorists, criminals, people who are selling drugs to our kids coming across the border. So what we've done is we made our border secure through a variety of things. More border patrol agents. We built some barriers. We've done a variety of things. And if you come here legally, you should not be able to stay. But if you want to come here legally, you should have every opportunity to live the dream of this country.
But do you think measures like put a wall in the border or something like that has worked for the U.S.?
Absolutely. You can look at what's happened from the moment Trump got elected. The border crossings went down. We still have a robust legal immigration process in this country, but we've stopped the illegal immigration. So we have fewer drugs that come in our country. We have fewer terrorists coming to our country. We have fewer people trying to sell drugs to our kids coming to our country, fewer criminals. So I think every country's, if you care about the people of your country, especially your children, you've got to have border security.
Okay. Senator, we are living this week a very important moment in terms of the conflict in Gaza with the peace talks going on in Egypt. How do you see this peace process?
Well, yeah, I'm hopeful. I know if anybody can get the deal done, it's President Trump. I know that Prime Minister Netanyahu knows that he's got to secure his border. He's got to demolish Hamas, because if he doesn't, they're going to come back and do the same thing in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years again. So I think it's a very difficult time, but my hope springs eternal. I hope Hamas releases all the terrorists. They put down their arms, and they want to live in an area where people have opportunity to live their dream. It'd be better for every Palestinian.
Okay, do you think then that President Trump will be able to close this deal and bring peace to the area?
If anybody can do it, it'll be President Trump.
Okay, why do you think that?
He cares about peace. You can look at how hard he works at this. He does not like war. He hates war. Like, I think all of us hate war, but he goes out of his way to make sure he stops wars and tries to get people to cooperate. I'm hopeful that's what will happen with Gaza, but it's completely 100% up to Hamas doing their job. If Hamas does this job, if they release the hostages, release the bodies, put down their weapons, Israel wants peace badly, just like the United States wants peace.
But how do you think that the Palestinians are going to accept, for example, that Gaza would stop being a part of the Palestinian territory? It will be held or administered by an international power.
Well, I think it'd be better for people who live in Gaza, because if you look at they've lived in a hellhole under Hamas, so that sure as heck hasn't worked.
Muchas gracias, senador Scott, por conversar con nosotros. Ha sido una muy interesante conversación. Cerramos entonces esta edición de Conversando con Mónica, en esta interesante conversación que hemos tenido con un senador, uno de los más influyentes del Partido Republicano y muy cercano al secretario de Estado, Marco Rubio. Nos encontramos entonces el próximo jueves aquí en Conversando con Mónica.